being the carrying handle due to its huge size as well as weight, and the other one being a larger than usual battery in order to maintain the high rate of fire for a longer period of time. After we completed the first pass and looked at the gun in the game for the first time, we felt that the actual carrying handle being centered right on top of the weapon obscured the player's vision a little bit too much during ADS view. Therefore, we offset it to the side and introduced a little angle to it just to get it out of the way.
Actually, while you're at it, if you don't mind, yeah. Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier, this is Ship Updates. There's a lot to do today, so let's get started with the 600i. So the 600i, yes it is indeed coming to 3.2. You will be getting the Explorer variant with the Touring variant coming at a later date. It is still in production, and there are currently no other versions planned for the 600i at this time. That's not to say it's impossible, but currently there are no plans. And apparently the 600i and the 100 did have a bit of an influence, I guess, on the 890 jump and the 300i, though to what extent, they did not elaborate. Next up is the Hurricane. The Hurricane is indeed going to be shipping in 3.2. It is going to come equipped with all ballistics, and though you may occasionally see people at CIG using it with laser weapons, it has tiny little power cores, so it can't really handle laser weapons, and it is designed around the use of ballistic weapons. Next up is the Aegis Vendor upgrade, which is also in 3.2. It is going to have the same cargo capacity. There are no plans for a 2-seat variant. The weapon hardpoints on the wings have been upgraded, so instead of size 1 gimbals, you now have size 2 gimbals on the wings, and the nose mount and the Tiger Strike cannon, or Tiger Strike, I thought it was called, but whatever. Doesn't really make sense, but neither here nor there. Okay, so the nose mount, you are no longer restricted to that single ballistic cannon. You can now replace it with any size 3 gun you want. And that is, of course, a size 4 mount, so I guess if you wanted to go to a size 4 fixed, you could. The aforementioned Tiger whatever cannon is now going to simply be a general ballistic weapon available to all ships. Also, in the Stalker variant, the holding cells are going to be somewhat functional. You'll be able to get in and get out of them, but you will not be able to lock someone in them. So if you're hoping to troll somebody by picking them up on a planet and telling them that's the passenger seat and then locking them in there because you're like that, I would do it. You can't. At least not right now. Next up, the Misc Freelancer. The Misc Freelancer will be getting component access built into the ship at a later date, though no time is given. So being able to access various components within your ship will be hidden behind certain panels, and that functionality will be added at a later date, possibly when they rework the interior of the Freelancer to accommodate a much larger airlock, as apparently it was discovered that getting your passengers blown out into space every time you went in and out through the side door was a bad idea. The Aegis Eclipse. Now, people were asking if the torpedo bay could be taken out and replaced with a different component, possibly a different variant of the Eclipse. Now, those of you who own the Eclipse may remember that back in 2016 during the concept sale Q&A, this same question was asked and shot down. And this time CIG said there are no current plans to implement that, which is a nice way of saying no, but we just don't want to say no flat out. Also, they did give some slight details in regards to its stealth signature, though they did not give any actual numbers. They said it was roughly about half the signature of a Saber, which itself is a stealth fighter, which has about half the signature of a Hornet. So, stealth bombers will be stealthy. Amazing. Now, the Misc Prospector, which you may remember was introduced in 3.1, though it was not able to mine. Well, mining is, of course, being implemented in 3.2. However, this is the quote-unquote Tier 0 implementation of mining, where you will only be able to mine on the surface of moons and scan there as well, I assume. Currently, the scanning system, of course, is something that's going to be broadened out to all the other ships in the game to varying degrees, depending on their specialization in scanning. And apparently there is a bit of an internal discussion as to whether you can use the mining laser to damage other ships. This is something that is still up in the air, but as the ship's director, John Crew, commented, he prefers the ability to damage ships with the mining laser as well, so that remains a distinct possibility. Now, as a general update to all ships, there is still planned to be a swappable armor mechanic for ships in the game. There are going to be different types of armor, certain armors that would say be stronger against energy weapons versus certain armors that may be stronger against ballistic weapons, armors that are better for hiding the signatures or the electronic emissions of your ship, thereby making your ship a little bit stealthier, though probably at the expense of survivability. Things of that nature. These are things that are still planned for the game, though they are not currently being implemented, as they are still trying to figure out the artistic implementation of that feature. And there you go. That's it. That's everything that you need to know. So I'll see you Monday. Bye. Okay, I'll tell them. The glaive and the scythe may not get a visual upgrade to bring them in line with the blade. The Mustang has been pushed to 3.3, along with bind culling and NPC AI ground combat. Alright, I told them, run!
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.